Well, hello, my friends. I hope everyone is doing well today. We are going to take you for a drive in a Bronco. So, I'm going to confuse you a little bit. Right now, we're in a launch edition two-door Ford Bronco. This is the 16th one made. And, many years ago, I got an email from Ford asking if I'd be interested in doing an Icon Bronco, which led eventually to the Icon Bronco. So we've had good long relationships and friends at Ford, like we do at Toyota and GM. And when Ford started thinking about bringing back the Bronco, I was stoked that they reached out to talk to me. So, really fun experience, actually. I spent, 4 years plus working with Ford and consulting on the design and basically like the DNA and the spirit of this new product. And I really think they did a great job. For me, it was super interesting too, because they embraced the things that I thought was important and integrated a lot of those elements, not all, into the product. Kind of peeking behind the curtains at the Wizard of Oz, it was, they have to deal with a completely different world of priorities and constraints when they're developing a product than I do on my happy little island of restoration and modifications. So I think for something that keeps the spirit and the vibe of the original Bronco, they nailed it. Something that has the basic lines and silhouette and evolved capabilities brought on originally by the classics like the Bronco, they nailed it. So it's a really good vehicle. I had a Raptor, but actually sold it before I took delivery of it, because a Bronco Raptor, because, well, I just didn't need it. I was stoked to be offered one, but I have too many cars and I'm not responsible enough to keep all the batteries charged and everything cleaned as it is. So I've actually been selling off a couple cars of mine in recent years and sort of scaling back. But I want to take you out in this one. We used this Bronco as a test bed because we got it really early on, luckily. So I developed a bunch of products for it. I've got tons of more product ideas I want to do for it. But at the end of the day, I realized, like, if you're going to sell modern vehicle aftermarket parts, it can't be like a part-time gig. It can't be a hobby. You got to be all in. Like, you need a dedicated team and budget to constantly market it and push it and stuff. And frankly, maybe I'm looking at it from too personal of a level, but like, I don't want to bug my Instagram followers with constant pimping of stuff they can buy. It's just not, I don't know, it's not my style. Probably should. We did this center console grab handle, which came out great. We have the traditional oh shit handle version, pardon my French. We have yeehaw version, and we have one that simply says nothing other than Icon. And that's powder coated in the Icon Volcanic black finish, and it's CNC'd out of 6061 billet aluminum, and it's super sturdy. The stock one's kind of wobbly, so we redesigned the mount system, and then obviously it being metal just made it more stout. We also did the front fender hood sight thingamajiggies, and I expanded their utility and turned them into grab handles. And then you can get extra of the cool little Bronco marked bolts, and I added 2 more tapped points on the front, so you can use it to mount fly fishing rod mounts or GoPros or whatever the heck you want to do. And we also did our signature pedals, so we've got the machined Icon pedal set for manual and automatic Broncos, and people love them. They've been selling really good when they happen to stumble into them and see them on our website, or when I occasionally pimp them on social media. I was thinking about doing the light bar. Struggled a long time to get that light bar happy so it's quiet. I hate it when light bars sing. So this one makes no added noise. You already got enough noise with modular hardtop at freeway speeds as it is. And then we redesigned the Icon New School forged aluminum wheels and made those compatible with the new Bronco. And I think that's all that we've brought to the public as far as product development for the new Bronco. The Chilowich interior on this one I just did for myself because I'm a geek like that. And if you're looking for something just to enjoy, drive every day, not worry about it, new Bronco rocks. It's got more character than most vehicles on the road, one could argue, especially in this price point, right? And it doesn't say, like, it doesn't come with any of the social baggage that you might find in, I don't know, like the new Defender, I think is a different sort of statement. It's probably the politest way to put that, or a G-Wagon or whatever. And look, there's an ass for every seat. I'm down with that. I ain't judging nobody. You want off-road capability? I'd have to say, with all the whiz-bang gizmo tech that Ford put in this new Bronco, it's probably more capable than the Icon Bronco, certainly more capable than a stock vintage Bronco. But I kind of look at it from a different perspective. Like, when I did the Bronco rodeo, I've done a couple of them, and even when like the instructors knew me and like let me kind of geek out a little bit more and like wait till the end of the day to go on the test track after they're closed, there's so many lawyers and nannies, you know, as I mentioned, constraints that new car companies deal with. They have to contend with so many regulatory standards and just a myriad of legal crap that becomes very difficult to stay honest to the original design. And I think knowing a lot of what is involved, hats off to Ford to pull that off. But me personally, I'd rather explore a couple sacrifices for the sake of spirit, probably the best way to put it. Meaning, if I'm off-road and I want to do something I know might be stupid, I want to hang my ass out on a big berm, or I want to launch it, or whatever I want to do, I want to be able to do that. And all these modern cars, even if you can turn off the nannies and shut the lawyers up, at the end of the day, you really can't. So at different points, when I was being fairly aggressive, the new Bronco like disconnected my throttle input, steering input, brake input, and I really appreciate a more like visceral man and machine analog experience that really the Icon Bronco, that's our sweet spot, right? So we're not going to be as capable from a focus group metric standpoint of comparison of competing vehicles and all that, but man, we got some soul. So I just proudly finished Icon Bronco number 100. In celebrating this milestone, I thought it'd be interesting to reference this new Ford Bronco and then, you know, a couple touches and details that I did. And, you know, at the end of the day, I think I would hop in the Icon Bronco over the new Bronco. That's just me. So they really appeal to different people. They appeal for different reasons. Granted, you know, I think most buyers of the Icon Broncos, it's not the only vehicle. It's not often they're the daily drivers or the daily driver of choice, but they have options. So if they got to go on a 7-hour road trip with the family and stuff, okay, they might grab something else. But when you really want to be transported in like in the zone and like a unique space and vibe, the Icon Bronco's the way to go. So pardon me, Ford, as I exit this vehicle and go back to my home. Home sweet home. Much better. So let's talk about this one. I love the cactus gray. I also like Area 51. That's the color my Raptor was. Raptor? What am I supposed to call that thing? I don't know. But cactus gray is really timeless, you know. I think with the Heritage Bronco that Ford came out with, that's really cool too, because that's starting to explore many more of the classic colors from the Bronco's history. There were so many great colors through the 60s and 70s coming out of Ford. But I don't know, I kind of like the monochromatic cleanliness of this color, like similar color that you've seen on Icon Broncos in the past, the chalk that Porsche does. That's another one that's really good. But let's talk about this truck. So obviously it's Cactus. It started out as actually pretty nice truck. Originally it was a 6-cylinder straight 6 Bronco, which interestingly enough generally means they're in better shape. I think the less torque meant less aggressive driving, less abuse over the years. We'll really notice that in the original frames. The 6-cylinder frames are always tighter and cleaner. That's what we're guessing is the reason. So VR100, man, what a trip. This is a job, right? New school design package. We did some unique details on it. It's for a dear friend and client. And he already has an old school. So the new school was his latest piece to be added into the mix. It's a 1974. And let's see. Because of all the black trim on the new Bronco, we thought we'd reference that. So we did the Icon Volcanic finish on the exterior trim, notably the front grille, the rear view mirrors, the Icon door handles, the gas cap, a couple other tidbits here and there. We ran the new school wheels, same exact wheel that we're running on the new Bronco. And on the inside, it's pretty much standard fare for a loaded new school, in that we have the stainless laser cut machined and black aluminum powder coated dash details, the push pull open close aimable HVAC vents, lights wiper fan vent temp, the Dakota digital Icon designed gauge cluster, again the sport pedals, different than the ones that are in the Bronco, but same design theme, same manufacturer. And then we did power windows, we did power door locks. We, like the new Bronco, have an auto dimming rear view mirror. We don't have smart link and all that stuff because frankly, who gives a darn? We do our cool visors instead of that because I don't know, I couldn't figure out a way to get the smart link thingy to work with these analog visors anyway. Not that I really cared to, so I don't think too hard about it. We did an interior focused on durability. So the client often travels with his dog, and originally we were going to do our standard fare Chilowich. He's like, nah, I'd like to do something a little more interesting, something you haven't done before. So also he wanted to do, he loves quality leather as I do. So we worked with Spinnyback for the leather on this interior. Spinnyback is somewhat famous, especially with this particular series of leather product that they make for durability and longevity. So this is a Spinnyback hide that really should require no care or feeding of note. So super durable, not a very substantial grain. It's a bit more processed so that it is that much more stable, but it smells great and has that nice natural feel. We did that on the seating surfaces as well as the upper sections of the door and cargo panels, and we leather wrapped and hand stitched the armrests and the steering wheel. I did not leather stitch and wrap the dash because I'm still not comfortable in the longevity of that. Seems always in like 3 or 4 years they go to hell when I look at them in custom vehicles, so stay with the old school one. They last decades, no hassles. The inserts on the lower door and cargo as well as the seat centers on this truck are quite unique. So this is this really cool new technical product that I discovered at a trade show in Italy. So it's silicone, which seems weird, but it's fused to a technical weave, so you still get the aesthetic of it being like a woven textile, but you get crazy durability with the fact that it is actually a solid and it's silicone, so it should last forever. It has a really interesting balance of grip, so it's not like suede or corduroy that like you get stuck on it and your shirt runs up your back, but at the same time it holds you in position and has a really cool kind of style and look to it, and it's similar in family and principle to the Chilowich, but it's a bit more retro and classic. So I think I'm going to keep using this product. You'll see it in more Icon projects in the coming future, and they have a really cool range of colorways that they offer. In fact, we already used it on a Thriftmaster derelict recently because the client had a super weird, rare skin allergy to the leather we used in the truck, which I've never seen before, nor could his dermatologist pin it down. But anyway, we redid the interior form in synthetics to address that concern, and kind of fell in love with this product. We stuck with the Hargarten square weave for the carpets. We have the optional seat heaters, 2-stage carbon fiber heat blankets in the front and rear seats. We have the rear tuck and tumble and removable 2-passenger bench. We did the volcanic finish for the roll bar and for the headliner bows as well. We have the elevated audio system. We've got nav, tetherless CarPlay, Bluetooth, CD, all those thingamajiggers. What else? We got the Icon Fire Extinguisher. Mechanically, of course, we're running the Coyote 5.0 current gen Mustang GT aluminum fuel injected V8, pushing out about 430 horse and copious amounts of torque, sending power through to a automatic 4-speed with overdrive, which then is sending the power to a Atlas twin-stick shift on the fly part-time 4-wheel drive 2-speed transfer case. Further down the line, you will find the Curry Industries Dana-based differential assemblies featuring all the possibly best upgraded internal components and powder-coated housings. We have the ARB locking differentials with a dedicated air compressor. We also have the famous Icon Sport brakes made by our friends for us over at Brembo. So world-class braking, Hydro Boost assisted, so super responsive, like crazy responsive. Stainless steel exhaust system, ceramic coated. This is the restrained, slightly more moderate exhaust note than the rowdy one, which is oh so rowdy. Oh, look at that, I got a reverse camera, just like a modern Bronco. I'll tell you though, that new Bronco, that camera 360 system is so good. It's so much better than my modern Land Cruiser as well. It's really pretty impressive. Just there's so many little technical things that like I'm still discovering in the Bronco. They put a couple Easter eggs in there too. Have you found them yet? They're there. What else can I tell you? We got the sport suspension, so no leaf springs, yay, of course, coilover all the way around, radius arm front, 4-bar rear, nitrogen charged, adjustable, Fox Racing 2.5-inch body, 12-inch shank shocks, Eibach coils, tunable sway bars, in-dash heat vent AC by our buddies at Vintage Air. So, for each his own, right? And they both serve a purpose. They both have tons of character and personality. But I'm super proud to be the lunatic behind this ride, as well as being proud to have been involved in working with Ford on the new Bronco. Next, we're really hoping to do an Icon edition of the new Ford Bronco directly with our friends at Ford. So that's actually part of the reason that I've kept a couple rabbits in my hat as you can say, and not released more and more product for the new Bronco. I think it might be fun if we can put that together once Ford gets caught up with their suppliers and distribution struggles that COVID brought them so many crazy challenges. Once they get their feet back under them and they're at full speed and have the bandwidth to entertain such follies, we hope you will see an Icon Edition Bronco at your local Ford dealership. So that's all I got. Thanks for hanging in there. It was a bit of a long one, but I thought it'd be kind of an interesting format for this video. If you guys have any questions, you can always reach out to us. We pride ourselves in staying connected with the community. So Facebook, Instagram, old school telephone, 818-280-3333. Website, icon4x4.com. And thanks again for your support. I really couldn't do it without you. So be good to yourselves, be good to others, be kind to our planet, and keep in touch.